Today we will talk about vector operations. So let's review some of the basics. Now, we will denote a vector by either a bold-faced letter or we'll put an arrow on top of the letter. And the components of a vector, for example, a three-dimensional vector is going to have three numbers separated by comma. In some books you'll see parentheses as well. Now, let's say if I want to enter a vector such as 2, 3, and 4, 2 means on the x-axis 2 steps over here. 1, 2. 3 on the y-axis, that means 1, 2, 3 steps over there. And then so it's going to be right here, parallel to x-axis. Right here, parallel to y-axis. And how high is it? It's going to be 4 steps high. Okay, so if I want to enter that, I do that with braces. So braces, 2, comma, 3, comma, 4, close braces. Now your calculator does recognize this as a vector. Now the next thing we want, if I'm giving 2 points, A and B, with components, and the vector AB is going to be the difference of the components here, B first and then A, x2 minus x1, y2 minus y1, z2 minus z1. So let's say if A is 2, negative 3, 4, B is negative 2, 1, 1, the vector AB is going to be like this. So you can enter the B points first and then A points, and it's going to give you the vector AB. So let's do that. Now, I will enter negative 2, 1, 1, which is the B points. Negative 2, comma, 1, comma, 1, close braces, minus A points, open braces, 2, negative 3, 4. So 2, comma, negative 3, comma, 4. And when you close the braces, it's going to give you the AB vector, negative 4, comma, 4, comma, negative 3. You have that many zeros because mode is set at that level. Look at it, I have 8. So if I want to set it to 2 per se, all you have to do is just go to 2, push enter, get out of there, and then when you push enter again, you're going to see I'm going to only have 2 decimals. The next thing we can do with the vectors is to calculate the magnitude of a vector. Sometimes they call that as length of a vector. It's going to be the sum of the squares. Let's say I'm looking for a magnitude of a vector, which is 2, negative 5, negative 3. One way to do that is to use the sum feature. So let me show you. You can get the sum feature from the list. And the list is right here. Second stack. Okay? And under math. Alright? But first I need to get the square root, because the square root comes first. So let's push the square root. Then I'm going to go to sum, getting that from the list. And under math, here it is, sum. Okay, sum of what? It's going to be sum of the vector. So I can enter the vector 2, negative 5, negative 3. Okay, close the braces. And you will square that because you are supposed to. And then close the, you have 2 parentheses, 1, 2. And it will give you 6.16, which is the magnitude of that vector. I'll also show you how to do that. 2, negative 5, negative 3. You can also use the table feature. Watch. You can go Stat Edit. Let's go clean up L1. Alright. And I will enter 2, -5, and -3. Alright. Once you enter that, you can go to Stat, Calculate, and do one variable statistics on L1 because I put my components over there. Now let's look at that. Do you see that sum of x squares is 38? Okay? And these are this, and you want to take the square root, remember? So it is square root of 38. And you'll get 6.16, the same answer. So you can get there in more than one way. Now let's say if I want to add, subtract, or multiply by a scalar and do that with the vectors. Let's do that with an example. I have vector 403, -215. So what I want to do, I want to get those into a list. So what you can do, enter your vector as 4, 0, 3, and then make sure that your calculator understands it's a vector, and store it in a list, not in a letter, but in a list. And remember, the list is under the list key right here above stat, and let's put that in L1. Okay, now it put that in there. Now I'm going to put -215 in a list as well. So let's do that. -2, 1, 5. And let's put that in a list. Let's store it. Let's put that in list 2. So I will put list and I'll pick the list 2. Very good. Now that I have those stored, I can just go and add them up if I want to. Let's say second L1 plus second L2. Watch what's going to happen. Since it stored it as vector, it will give me the addition. It will add all the components. You can do this with the subtraction. Second L1 minus second L2. And you'll get the subtraction of components, or you can do a scalar, 3 times, let's say, L2. You can go and pick L2 and watch. It's going to go and multiply every component.